Alright, welcome to another update. This is going to be our last update for the year. Kind of do a quick overview, and then I'm going to kind of go over some new things that we got for the tank, and then some changes with the tank. So I did a quick scrape of the wall, so you can actually see. That's why there's like a lot of debris and a little bit of algae. It's not my maintenance day, so not the cleanest that it could be, but you know, we're going to roll with it anyways. Alright, so let's start off with some of the new stuff. We got some new Acclimation boxes from Holy Claw. We got, this one's supposed to be a pink one. It looks a little orange under the blue light, but it's actually pink. And we got a green one over here. So plans are to keep like macroalgae / frags, nems, if you know we get too many nems and we're trying to catch them. In those two tanks right now, we just have some macroalgae that is just being housed in that area. Let's talk about the fish. No new fish. I did try to add in the goby that was, you know, healing from the quarantine. Unfortunately, one of the yellow watchman goby did pass away. The other one, you know, was fine. Added in here and then got harassed by the blue tang, so it's back outside. I think I'm just gonna keep it outside, kind of like cycling the QT tank or keeping it cycled. The diamond goby that was in here, unfortunately we lost the diamond goby during a feeding event where I had the lid open here and I left it, you know, out while I was feeding, and the goby jumped out of this and landed right here, and then by the time I came back it was just basically cooked and fried with the lid open. So unfortunately that happened, so now I'm kind of a little bit more cautious in terms of like opening the lid, feeding them, and then closing it back again, making sure none of these guys jump, because we have wrasse in the tank as well, and that could occur with the wrasse. So future plans for fish, I may add in like one, maybe possibly two new wrasse, but right now I don't have any plans to add any new fish into the tank. I think this is it in terms of livestock. If I see a really nice wrasse, it'll probably be just one more wrasse, but other than that, you know, maybe if there's something crazy that I like, that maybe two. All right, so let's talk about some new corals. So we got a bunch of new mushrooms. So we got a magic carpet mushroom right here. And then we got another one here. This is a powerball mushroom, very tiny, but I got it for a good price, so can't complain there. Then moving across over here, you'll notice that we have a few new pieces of flat rock that I added on to the tank. It's just so that's easier to have some of these mushrooms grow on them versus some of these other rocks that I have, and it's just easier to transfer. So I have a couple new pieces over there, a couple new pieces over here. We'll move them around, shuffle them around. And I took the giant piece of rock that was kind of like this tall. It was pretty wide. Initially I kind of liked it, then I was like kind of looking at the scape. I kind of like the way it looks right now, where it's like kind of flat in front, low, you know, mushrooms and whatnot, and then like it goes back where it has height in the back. So I removed that because that height difference just kind of like didn't seem right. So anyways, now we have a little mini garden of mushrooms here. So we have some new ones here. The OG bounce I moved from on the other side over here. We have a OG Godzilla. You've seen that one back there already. That's the Candy Crush. And then this one I had bought thinking that it was a OG Godzilla initially, but then if you look here, right, it's not the same. And the way I guess you can tell it apart is there's like a deep blue center there, and then it's more green, like there's a rim of green, and then also there's green along the outer edge of the mushroom. This one here, if you look at pictures, it kind of does look like it a little bit, where you have a rim of green, and then like it's like kind of, this one's more red. OG Godzilla is more like orangish. I would say this might be like a fake one, or maybe like a King Kong, where as they get bigger they kind of shift to like this. I'm gonna grow it out and see what it is, but I don't think this is going to be anything special, so it just might be a normal mushroom. Alright, so let's talk about some of the growth on the corals. So look at this beautiful Monty here. Look at that. Nice growth on the Monty. We had it almost die and come back there. This is the mystery acro I got from the local pet store for only $10 bucks. Look at it encrust on the plug there. It's fully encrusted almost, I would say. It's looking good. A little bit more green. It's moved again because we had the poison ivy that was over here, that bleach. It's actually right here. I removed that down here just to see if it would survive with lower light. I don't think it's gonna make it. That came in bleach during shipment. Put it over here so we have some new color on that side, I guess, because we also have this guy here bleached on me recently after coming back from vacation. I think I know why. I'll explain in a little bit here, but that one bleached recently, so don't think that guy is gonna make it. These other ones though, coloring up really nicely. When you look here, we got some new crusting on the plug there, which looks great. This guy, PC Rainbow, is coloring up really nicely, but I don't see it encrusting in the bottom. Actually, the bottom here, when it came in, it was kind of like white in the bottom, so kind of concerned, but we'll see. We'll see if it comes back. So here is the Princess Peach. It's encrusting. It's encrusting really well. That little, oops, that little hump right there in the front there, that was all glue actually when it came in, and now it just kind of covered over it. That's looking beautiful. This one's the Walt Disney that I got that came in semi-bleached, and then it fell off. I replugged it back in and it fully bleached where it just completely died the next day. So don't think that guy's gonna make it. So I got another one, and that one looks a lot better in terms of color, right? Bleach, not bleach. So we'll see how that one does. The green Slimer is probably looking really fabulous right now. Look at that, encrusted basically almost fully, and then it has a little nub in the back there is coming out, so we'll have two little sticks soon from that guy, so I'm looking pretty happy. This guy in the front here, we have some new crust in the actual frag piece there, so that's looking good. That guy back there was up here somewhere. We were growing it up here, and then I moved it all the way back there, and it's looking beautiful. The colors fully came back. It was awesome. So this guy, I'm hoping to do the same thing where it's coming back. So that one looks beautiful. Same thing over here. The Digis, this one here looks like we have tons of new growth. Same thing with that one back there. Look at all those nubs that are coming out. Things growing like crazy, like wildfire. And then we have one more SPS in the back here. Boom. Looking beautiful. So what I'm thinking caused the bleach on the SPS to fully bleach, because it wasn't looking too happy before, but then probably some other stress inducers just completely wiped it out. But we upgraded from XR15s to XR30s. These are the Gen 4s. So I had Gen 4s for the XR15s, and the reason why I upgraded was because there was a lot of shadowing where I'll show you here. This is probably easier to just look down here. So you see where the fan is for the 30s? That's where the 15s were, all the way down here. So the light was basically right in the center, and then that's where like everything was like, you know, the highest power. And then out here would be lower power, which was fine because the way I had the tank design, you know, a lot of the rock work was in the middle anyways. But what was happening was I've noticed that these acros, one side would be super shaded just because that's where the light was like not, you know, coming from the other side, and then the other side was more shaded. And so I noticed that the growth was only happening on where the light was coming, obviously, because, you know, that's where the lights are coming. And so I didn't really like the shadowing. I could have gotten some, you know, AI like blades and all that stuff, but they were a little bit more expensive. All I did was I was going to swap around lights because I had some Kessels down here that did the job for the macro, but I figured, you know, if we double them up, we can get more power for the clams that are going to be down here. I had to move the clam because it was getting bitten up. And so it just made sense because I upgraded, you know, all of these. And then I also, you know, took the two existing ones down here, sold off the Kessels that I had two of them over here. And I had one Gen 6 that basically paid for two of these. All I did was just sell it and bought those where they were equivalent at the same price. So it was, you know, it made sense for the upgrade, and also like the upgrade was worth it, I think, for me. And then also these two here now outputs almost 350 par at where these clams are getting hit. And then just to kind of give you guys an idea, so the the 15s, the par at around 80-90% intensity, or like, you know, max usage. Up here we're getting maybe like 325 par. The X30s, so the 30s at 35% are getting around 350 at the same equivalent level, so a lot more power. Obviously we've got two lights, and then also we can increase the par as some of these acros get bigger, so that's what I kind of wanted. And then now the bottom floor is getting 125 to 150 versus before with the 15s we were getting only 100. So with the two 15s side by side here, we're getting a par of 350 where the clams are at, and they're loving it. They are opening a lot more. They're just beautiful, like you can see. Basically, in the last updates, they're all fully healed in terms of where they were being nipped. Opened a lot more. I noticed that the Croceas are open a lot more than the Maximas. I think the Maxima is just still adjusting to the high par. It's not liking it as much. But yeah, I noticed that it's just the clams are just fully open. They're just like, oh my god, like, you know, this is crazy light. So anyways, on this side here is where I have a lot of the Clarpas growing. I'm going to probably grow that along with some of the red algae that's kind of just all over the place. I need to like scrape this during maintenance. That's, you know, maintenance day is when I normally scrape a lot of these. A lot of just growth everywhere, to be honest. Let's see if you guys can see some of these shrimp here. They're growing pretty big. We've got some big ones, and then like also got a patch of eggs for the clownfish right back there in that corner. That's where they laid some eggs, so they're getting a little bit more aggressive every time I try to move stuff or put my hand in here. They're just super aggressive because there's a patch of eggs back there. I haven't, you know, they haven't laid eggs in a while, so pretty cool that they've laid an eggs back there. I tried, you know, to grow them, but it's just really hard getting them to eat and whatnot. But we'll just let them do their thing, you know. Let them kind of enjoy themselves back there. The one chalice is growing really, really nicely. Look at that. I probably can't keep it up in the main display because the angel's going to go after it. But yeah, so this is the last look of how it's going to look, because I'm going to be removing the skimmer because Ozone is pretty much not even kicking on with OPR being so high in my tank. It's like over 420, 25, 430 or something like that. 450 sometimes. And it doesn't drop low enough for Ozone to kick on. I have it at 400 it's to turn off, so it just yeah, so it just doesn't make sense to run Ozone right now. I mean, right now I don't even really run the skimmer. It's just used for Ozone. So what I'm gonna do is remove the skimmer, just disconnect the Ozone for now, and then utilize this to grow some corals and whatnot, and we'll pull this out so this water level will drop down to here, and then we'll adjust the height of some of these racks as well, and we'll just grow clams on one side or whatever, and then frags on one side and macroalgae on the other side or something like that. And we'll have a little bit more room for the clowns to kind of go back and forth. And then, yeah, I think that's going to be what I'm going to be doing. And also I need to figure a way to kind of cover that, because sometimes we get shrimps and then we get like nems that fly over there and they just get stuck. So I have to figure out a way to protect them from that. So yeah, so that's the plan. We'll just shift, you know, these lights down a little bit, or maybe stack them because they're pretty close. We'll just kind of move this one like a little bit over here, and then this one a little bit more like towards this side. And then yeah, we'll get the same par intensity and whatnot down here. It'll be awesome. So I just want to do a quick video to end the year. This is what the tank looks like for 2023 at the end, and then moving on to 2024. 4. Hopefully we get some more new growth and then some new stuff growing in here. All right, if you guys aren't subscribed yet, make sure you guys are subscribed. And like always, the next one, guys, peace.